Hello guys, it's you from USW Plays again. I'm doing a special vid for one of my friends on channel 118. Her name is Scarecrow, and she's been really nice to me, so I'm doing a vid on her mobs. She agreed to this. I can sound pretty well. Alright. Scarecrow, you have a lot of great mobs. You have Fire Ninetales, Megan, you have Gina too, which is really good. I'm going to start with your Fire Ninetales first. I just went down the list and just reset further on the strategy. Fire Ninetales. I had one before I reset. I love her because she sleeps, she heals, and she does damage. So you put Fatal Energy on her. I would actually go Fatal Focus just because she has decent HP to begin with. You don't need more HP if you put the focus on, you get her sleep. And the Fatal, stick with the Fatal because she'll heal. She heals. And her heal does the most damage, so she'll heal a lot. She doesn't need that much HP. She starts off with a lot of HP to begin with, so I would change that. Just change out the energy for focus. Just start utilizing that sleep more. Next up is Megan. Yeah, Swift Focus. Extremely good. Swift is a must-have for any buffer, any good buffer, and Focus is great for her curse that prevents effects. Most people use her in Arena. She's great all over the place, so I'd use her in the Volcano just because water versus fire, and she gives you a buff, attack, and death. Next one's your Wind Bounty Hunter, Fatal Blade. Good. He's really good. I wouldn't go focus on him because his secondary attack does remove beneficial effect, but his AoE, since you awakened him, is really good, especially since you get an extra turn if you kill mobs, so you don't Fatal Blade. You want to do as much damage with him as possible. Lulu, you have Swift Energy. Great. Swift again. He team heals and debuffs. Lulu is a better healer than Fairy in that area because he debuffs. He can heal through irrevocables. And if you have Swift and Energy, Energy helps keep him from dying, and Swift gives him more turns to reload his skills. Next, you have Water Fairy. Energy. Well, you can go Energy if you're tanking with her. I prefer not to tank since she's kind of the Fire Ninetales opposite number. She does have a sleep. Her first attack also stuns, and she heals. So I'd go to Spare Focus. You could get sleeping easier, and it would increase your stun rate. Or go Fatal Energy, because she heals based off her attack power. And if you're going to tank with her, and you can heal others too. That's why you want her, is to heal others. Because if you don't have very good attackers to begin with, then they're not going to do that much damage, and you want her to do a lot of damage if she's awakened already. Next, it's Rena. My gosh, you just spent a lot of time on your healers, didn't you? You got Energy. I do have Fatal Energy. She also, her regular attack heals her based off attack power. It's like Fairy on steroids. So she'll heal herself every turn. If you up her attack power, she heals more. And with her shield, she won't take as much damage in general, so she doesn't need the energy on her. So go Fatal Energy. Rena's great. Next up, Fire Sylphid. I love this mob, especially Awakened. Great in Arena. Despair Energy. You love Despair runes, don't you? I'd go Fatal Focus just because her regular attack does DOTs, and her second attack decreases her attack bar. Despair Energy. Sure, she lasts longer, she does stuns, but if you can get those DOTs, you can do more damage, because she doesn't do that much damage. And you don't need energy because, well, you'll have other mobs too, it won't be just her. Okay? And you kind of want her to die, not if she dies first, but she's great. If you can do some damage with her, and your other mobs are taking damage, when she dies, especially Awakened, auto refills the bar for every other mob you have. Next up, Cassandra. Also Despair Focus. Actually, that'd be good. I did all focus when I had her because I wanted her DOTs, but Despair Focus, she has 2 AoEs. There's 2 chances to stun every mob on the field, and Focus increases that chance. So good, your Cassandra is great. Next up, Water Choker. Awaken this dude and you can tank with him. Also, you have Fatal Energy. I do all Focus, really. Until he's awakened, Energy's not going to do much. And Focus, you want his surprise box to be putting effects on everyone. First off, you want that surprise box doing the effects. If they don't do the effects, it's worthless, really. Because it doesn't do that much damage either. You want the effects. Next up, Gina. Rage Crit. Rage Crit. I love Gina because she AoE sleeps, so I go Despair Focus. Despair Focus is probably the best rune setting you could have for Gina. Especially since she has an AoE sleep, she has a curse, and she does DOT on a regular. Focus increases the curse in that. You can also go AoE sleeps, you can also stun single targets. You get that chance to incapacitate more mobs instead of just relying on your AoE sleep. You can get stuns in too. Fire Reaper. Ooh, yeah. Despair Focus. He does have 2 AoEs, so I can see where you're going. Despair Focus. This last one. His Hellfire attack does do DOTs and irrevocable, so that's good. However, well, that is great. I don't prefer to do that. I don't really like putting Fatal or Blade. I use his AoEs. And I use him to good effect too. I mean, if you go Fatal Crit, sure, he gets extra turn with his regular attack. But I prefer extra turn and Fatal. I get his DOTs. With my extra turns, I've gone up to 17 turns with my Fire Reaper on auto. It would go through its AoEs, it would kill a mob. And then it would kill another mob. It would go hit another mob, get an extra turn, hit it, and then it's dead, and then its AoEs are back. It can go on practically forever. Like I said, Lightning, he has Swift. Not even a full set yet. I'd go Guard and Focus or Guard Energy because it is a death mob. It doesn't rely on Swift like the Wind Inu at all. It has great death, 200 death. Go Guard, Focus, or Guard Energy. Focus is because you want to decrease their attack bar and remove beneficial effects. And its heal is great. That's why you want the Guard. So it'll heal itself and it won't take as much damage. Fire Ninja, you don't really have anything on there, so I go Fatal Focus just because it does DOTs and decrease attack bar. And Fatal, there's more attack. Focus just helps its effects. You don't really need energy or anything because of its will power thing. It's passive, which is great. Wind Reaper, this dude's a dilemma. You want to level him up to 4 or 5 star. You want to put Fatal Crit. The only reason I use him, his AoE sucks. His regular attack doesn't do that much damage. He's squishy. However, his last attack can nuke. If you have him ruined Fatal and Crit, it does lots of damage. His last attack. It's great against water mobs once it's leveled and has the runes. Next up, Wind Yeti. Focus Energy. It's a healer. It has decent HP. You want more HP on it and you want it to heal because it heals all your allies. I wouldn't go speed at all. I'd go energy. Focus because its first 2 attacks to attack decrease and attack speed decrease. You want those. Oh, my second one to stun. My bad, it stuns. Don't do stun rings though because really it's first and foremost a healer. Next up, Fire Werewolf, Guard Energy, or All Guard with all HP. It heals 10% HP every turn with its passive. That's great. If you can have Guard HP, get it more HP, it will take more damage, but it will heal more too. However, if you can get Guard runes, all Guard, to increase the stat as much as possible, and then have HP substats on all of them, more HP heal, does less damage, it can basically keep going longer, a lot longer. It'll be great against like noobs who use Firehounds and stuff. Last up, the last one I really want to focus on is your Fire Warbear, because he's awakened. No runes, so I do Fatal Focus. I love his counterattack. I put Focus on him because It provokes AoE provoke, which means your other mobs probably won't be touched by your whole team, and fatal, so it'll do more damage. I might go guard instead of fatal, just because guard will give it more def, so it won't die as quickly, but fatal, it can do more damage. Actually, I'd go guard focus more, because it's a shield. It's a shield that brings in all of your enemies. And pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Really good mobs, really good runes. Stop spending so much time in Giant's Dungeon, really. Don't spend so much time. Despair is good for double AoEs. Anything other than that, just Wind Thief, use Despair rune. I'm doing Despair as a man, and that's it. That wraps this up. Don't forget, viewers, to subscribe and like below. If you have any comments, down there I'll have Skyres' name in the description. Thank you, Skyres, for letting me do this. This will be my third vid. Coming up, my next vid, I'm going to be doing runes in general, because I did talk a lot about runes. I'll show you. I'll be telling you why I personally do not use runes, why I absolutely hate them, but I'll also be giving you basic beatdown for all the different rune sets, how you can use them, what you can do. And thanks. Goodbye.